Maybe I can back them up. Hey everyone, welcome to our August video update. I'm Graham McKay, Executive Director here at Lowell's Boat Shop, and I am back. A lot of you saw last time that I was back, but now I am really back. And it's getting toward the end of August here. Our summer programs are sort of winding down. We've got one last week. Kids just came in, and the dock looks a little empty. Part of that is because we have provided some dories to the Governor's Academy over in Newbury. They have a new waterfront setup and want some dories like ours to do educational programs in over there. So two of our fleet we have sold over there, and we built one with them in a class last winter that we finished off this summer. So they're going to have 3 boats to use over there. This guy here was begun by our apprentices last year because we need to keep building these for our own use here. Next week I'm going up to Wooden Boat School up in Brooklyn, Maine to teach for a week, and I'm going to bring this with me. And then when they're idle hands up there, they can go to work on this, and it's just an extra project in the shop. And if nothing happens, well, so be it, but we need to try to get that done. Really, we have until next year. I think we can make do with the boats that we have, but it would be nice to get that in the water ASAP. So as we go through the shop here, things are going to look pretty empty. We just sent a boat over to Governor's. What's up, brother? And that was the boat that they had made last winter in the class that we finished this summer. That's gone. Here's Dorothy and Molly.
Hi. Hello.
On camera. Molly. You guys remember Molly?
Hello.
State your name and your purpose.
Hi, my name is Molly MacInnis. Hopefully a boat builder now, somewhat. And then I'm helping out in the waterfront this week. I'm also a merchant mariner, so I drive really big ships in the Gulf of Mexico. And
Molly's gone 6 weeks and home for 3. So when she's home for 3, we try to get her to work here as much as possible. But she also just bought a house, so she's working on that as well. But Molly's a former apprentice, and in the last video, which she may or may not have watched, the opportunity of me going to the Arctic was thanks to a proposal that Molly helped write. Did you watch that last video update?
I did.
Oh.
Well, it's cool because I got to also help like route plan and like get all the charts that you guys needed for Canada and like work with David and Captain Peacock.
Nice.
So I'm glad that y'all went.
I didn't know. Well, and I'll send you the outtake where I cry.
Well, have fun on your tour.
Thanks, Mal.
There's John.
Here's John making seats gray. So those are going to go in these boats out here. He's a good man. So I spent a couple $100 at Harbor Freight and tried a paint sprayer this week. And you can tell by how much it looks like the floor around here all paint splattered that it was a learning curve. It made quick work of it, but I think it has its use case and it's not always here. So these old girls have done their time here, and they're going to head over to much calmer waters over at the Parker River. And I believe in future years we will likely build some newer dories for the Governor's Academy when they get used to these. This is sort of getting them off the ground, and then down the road I think they're gonna have some newer ones made once they get their program kind of figured out, which they're doing. But these particular boats were built here by students, I believe, in the mid-90s. So we're looking at a couple of 30-year-old dories here. And again, they're sort of George Washington's axe. They've got, they've had 3 new bottoms and 2 new top sides, but this I believe is probably their last duty before they get retired and replaced. But pretty good. I mean, 30-year-old dory, I think back in the year, if it was, 2 or 3 years old, it was getting long in the tooth. Let's go upstairs, look at the empty shop. Follow me, Ann. Things to talk about. What's coming up? Well, we're going to have a member event. So we're going to invite all of our members here. They're always welcome here, but invite them here for sort of like a potluck on the lawn in early September. And the idea is to just get everybody together and have a party and let everybody enjoy being here. But if we look over here, what we're going to see is an empty shop where that dory that I just brought to Newbury used to sit. Here we have a bunch of blanks for oar looms. So not only do we have to supply them with boats, but also with oars. And we've been frantically making oars all summer. And so we've gotten fairly good at it and fairly quick at it. So maybe, just maybe, soon we will be able to offer oars for people, because it's getting hard to source decent oars. And a good pair of oars right now would probably cost you about $450 or $500, which is quite a bit of money. So it makes sense to make them at that rate. And what you're seeing here is the ensuing mess that always occurs after you've sent a couple of projects out. So there's a mess from oar making. Here's a mess from working on that dory. Here's what happens when you use a paint sprayer. But that'll wear right off. Don't you worry. 2 years' time, you'll never see it. Coming in here. Don't look over there. Never mind that. So, quite a bit to talk about here. One thing is it still set up? It is still set up. So, we took the keel bolts out of this boat, and they were looking a little tired, the bronze ones. And we put a new keelson in, and we kind of buggered up some of the threads and such, getting the old ones out, and they weren't going to be useful. So what we did was, since there's no ballast keel on this, and really you have a wooden keel, wooden floors, which are new, and a new wooden keelson, we decided to just trunnel the whole mess together, which is going to be overall better in the long run for everything, for the keel, for all of that. But it tends to go through the swelling and shrinking cycles without doing less damage than having some sort of metal in there. But thanks to a grant from the Mass Charitable Mechanics Association, who've been very generous to us over the years. It's an organization out of Boston that does a lot for apprentice programs and vocational programs like ours, and does a lot for providing them with nice tools to use. This is one such thing. We had a trunnel maker here from the Essex Shipbuilding Museum, which is really just a big pencil sharpener. And the one that they had it did a good enough job, but this thing here from Veritas, please Veritas, we're looking for a sponsorship. So this is an adjustable dowel maker. It's got a cutting knife here and a cutting knife there, and you stick your nice piece of square stock in here, hit the button, and out comes a beautiful trunnel, just like that. So this is going to be very useful, and one of the side benefits of this is that with all of our dories outside, we use a lot of thole pins, and thole pins are time-consuming to make, especially the rounding process. Right here, stick that in, you've got half a thole pin already made, shape the top really quick, and we can keep up with the broken thole pins, which are very common. But we would use these. This is black locust, which we use for all of our trunnels, and we went right on through. We were actually able to bore out the old keel boat holes, and that was also a good thing because over time those holes start to get a little egged out and a little bigger than the actual fastener, and so by making those bigger we were able to run a trunnel through, wedge it on both sides, and and that is one of the things. So in addition to being the director here, I'm a trained maritime archaeologist. And when you find a piece of a shipwreck or something on the beach, the trunnels are almost always intact still. And so they last. The metal fasteners will all be gone, but what's holding the whole works together is still those wooden trunnels. And so I trust them quite a bit. And here I trust them as well. And only in hardwood. But when you look down here, what we've got our old keel. We just steam bent in this garboard here. You can see the old frames and the new floors. And then we've got inside this keelson, which sort of, this keel's only about 3.5 inches wide and the keelson's close to 8. So what this will allow me to do is run a trunnel through the inside of the garboard here, through the new floor, and then catch the edge of the keelson. And that'll tie that whole works together really solidly. And also the benefit of that is it's at an angle as well. So when you're fastening something like that keelson that might want to over time flatten out and raise up off of those floors, if you put all your fasteners in straight, then that piece of wood's able to lift straight up off. But if you drive them wild, as it's called, at angles like this, then that piece cannot lift up. And so it's going to do dual purpose of holding the garboard on, but also tying that keelson to the floors. So we'll mix that in with some regular wood screws. You don't just want to trunnel it in. And then we're going to have a butt somewhere in here that we're going to have to screw together. But this is beautiful stock that we got to bend the other day. And we got this all put together down here. Once we get that all fastened, we're going to get this side together. We're going to get the plank fitted, but probably not on. And then we'll flip this over. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And we actually, the plank that had been here is in good shape and we took off, but we're going to put it back on. However, the edge over the years has gotten a little buggered up. So we actually made this garboard about 3/8 of an inch wider. And then we're going to face that edge of that plank so that it fits and get a nice new edge on it. So this will be nice and tight and beautiful. But this is starting to come along, and it's really nice to see new wood and new planks come on. I was hoping to have Molly for a little while longer to put varnish on this thing, but it looks like I'm going to have to do it myself, or have John over here do it. Poor John. So that's what's happening with this here shallop. I think last time we were looking at the keelson. Now we're looking at garboards, and in she goes. And this is always a bit of a challenge, and the challenge is trying to clamp this thing in place so it comes out hot. And as good as you think your forethought is for clamps and all that, it's never good enough when you've got a hot plank hanging on the side of the boat. So wedges and clamps and all that stuff, you could have all of them in the world, but never enough. So yeah, that's what's happening here. And we just moved this guy out today. Whew, man, we've been hearing about this for years, this old 12.5, but it's really a new 12.5. So this has been built by the apprentices over several years, and we're trying to put the finishing touches on it. Mostly paint, a little bit of woodwork, but primarily paint. We've got a suit of sails for it, and this thing is going to be ready to go for somebody who wants a nice new 12.5. Student built, you'd be supporting student programs, but be a heck of a little sailboat for you. So if you're interested, you let us know. That's kind of it for what's happening here at the shop. I'd say things kind of slow down at the end of August and into September, and then we pick right up in October with the apprentice program and all kinds of other stuff. Pretty soon we'll start building a 16-foot Amesbury skiff right here, so you'll get to watch that come together as you keep following. And that is your best thing to do, is to subscribe to us on YouTube. As soon as you see a video come out, like it, give it a thumbs up, give it a quick watch. And if you want to follow the goings on, the other best way is to go on the website and join our email list. We email blast with all of our events, all of our happenings. And if you want a less aggressive way, you can just give us a follow on Instagram, because a lot of our communication will go through there as well. So several ways to follow what we're doing. If you're an educator and you're interested in using dories, maybe at your school or building or something like that, get in touch. We're always working with different programs, trying to get kids in boats, because that's our mission. So thank you for watching, and we'll be right back with something new. Don't look at this. Nobody look at this. That's us getting ready for our holiday open house. Yes, our holiday open house. It may be August, but we're thinking about Christmas. I just ordered Christmas trees.